This is Bill Jones from Freedom's Nest. Today's presentation is episode 9. The subject and title is Federal System of America, God's Gift of Good Government. Romans 13. Let me first start with a word. This is Bill Jones from Freedom's Nest. Website's recapturefederalism.com. You may have seen my observational graphic on the condition of America today. Part of it, of course, is from the founders. It's where the federal system of America comes from. And I believe, and scripturally believe, and there's a source, that it's God's gift to America. And it's from Romans 13. Of course, that's Paul's letter to the Romans. Paul, apostle, wasn't always apostle, of course. He originally was a lawyer, a corrupt one at that. He was a Pharisee. Pharisee was a political party. Among other things, was also a social movement. They were corrupt also. You want to read about them, the scribes and the Pharisees. Woe to the Pharisees and the scribes, hypocrites. You can read about that in Luke chapter 11 and Matthew chapter 23. Yeah, woe to the scribes and the Pharisees, hypocrites. They were corrupt. And Christ talked about them in those two books, Gospels. But on to Romans 13. Romans 13 lays out what a good government is, how you should act, what type of legal system you should have, and of course that's all based on the Ten Commandments. It'll talk about that. And we'll start out by reading it, go right through it. In-depth analysis I would come later and dissect it, talk about individual sections and verses of Romans 13. But as I start reading there, keep in mind a mindset that this is good government. And the opposite, of course, is bad government. There's a hymn, "On Christ the solid rock I stand, all other ground is sinking sand." Sinking sand is bad government, among other things, evil. Good government comes from Romans 13, an apostle. The corrupt politician converted to Christianity, and he did good deeds, and one of the good deeds is laid out in Romans chapter 13, and it starts, "Let every soul be subject to Let every soul be subject to the sovereign authorities, for there is no power which is not from God, and those who are in authority are ordained by God. Whoever therefore resists civil authority resists the command of God, and they who resist shall receive judgment to themselves. For the judges are not a menace to good works, but to evil. Now, if you wish not to be afraid of authority, then do good, and you will be praised for it. For the ruler is the minister of God to you for good. But if you do that which is wrong, be afraid. For he is not girded with the sword in vain, for he is the minister of God, an avenger of wrath upon those who commit crime. Wherefore we must be obedient, not only in fear of wrath, but also for our conscience' sake. For this reason you pay head tax also, for they are ministers of God, who are in charge of these things. Render therefore to every one as is due to him. Head tax, duty to him who is in charge of taxes, reverence to whom reverence is due, and honor to whom honor is due. Owe no man anything, but love one another, for he who loves his neighbor has fulfilled the law, which says, Thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not commit adultery, thou shalt not steal, thou shalt not covet, and if there is any other commandment, it is fulfilled in this saying, namely, Thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. Love does not work evil to his neighbor, because love is the fulfillment of the law. Know this also, that now is the time and the hour that we should awake from our sleep, for now our salvation is nearer than when we believed. The night is far spent, the day is at hand. Let us therefore cast off the works of darkness. Let us put on the armor of light. Let us walk decently as in the daylight, not in clamor and drunkenness, not in the practice of immorality, not in envy and strife. But clothe yourselves with our Lord Jesus Christ, and disregard the lust of the flesh. And that's Romans 13. It's from the Lamps Bible, and it's the Bible I use, which is Aramaic to English. Some of the wording's probably different in some of the other Bibles, translations. But the ideas are all the same. As I said, I'll be getting into it deeper, individual verses in different episodes. But I'll leave you just with that. The basis, the legal basis and authority. As Lincoln said, under God, of the people, by the people, for the people. And by the way, that's the good people that are referenced in the Declaration of Independence. Until the next episode, good day.